I'm gonna show the 3 most important things first, and then I'll go into details later in the guide, just in case you wanna come in here and get the best info you can real quick and be on your way. First is learning how to double alpha. Second is how to get 2 hits of gamma for the damage, and then third is just alpha staggering. A double alpha is getting 1 hit, which is the direct hit, and then the spawn pillar. That's doing that twice. This, for example, is not a double alpha, even though I hit them 3 times technically. I'm not considering that as a double alpha. If you throw around 3/4 of the way, you'll be able to land a double alpha combo. If it's too far or too close, you can't land it if you are standing still when you are throwing both of them.
No escape.
It's almost impossible to hit a double alpha at level 4 unless you are walking towards them. That goes for every alpha. If you're walking towards them on any alpha, you're like 10 times more likely to hit a double alpha. Now, depending on how you hit them, if you hit them on the very edge like this, they go more horizontal in the air. But if you hit them more directly in feet, they get lifted up quicker. Hit them in the corner like this, they fly a little bit shorter, I guess horizontally, and in this direction. So in a way, you can hit a double alpha better if you hit them on the corner, for example. Now, to do a double gamma hit alpha, what I mean by this is when they're on shield, you can hit both parts of gamma, but it's not a true combo. And you can throw an alpha, but usually most people don't get the second hit of gamma when they do a gamma alpha, like that. So you're missing the spawn damage of this. That's what almost every Cementoss player does not get. Now to walk cancel, you have to hold a direction while standing on the ground or some type of ground, and it will end the end lag of a move. So this is no walk canceling. This is as fast as I can melee. You can test it yourself, and now I'm holding the direction. Doesn't matter what direction. If you time it right, as you see, there's less end lag as I'm doing this faster. Now, when you throw an alpha on the corner, I feel like they might stay in this area a little bit longer versus just simply on the edge. That could just be me. You can test it out yourself and see what works for you best. So you gamma and you walk cancel, but you don't instantly throw alpha. You have to time it. You just have to go in training, time it. I suggest getting like level 9 on alpha, level like 5 or 6 on gamma, just so you know if you break their shield, then that means you did the combo correctly. And you had to have GP auto recovery on, of course. If you don't break their shield, then you did not do the combo correctly, and they could have rolled it. I also forgot to mention distance kind of matters, because if they're very far away, they can just roll before the alpha gets there, since gamma goes quicker than alpha does. So timing will vary, but you should gamma, walk cancel, and look, I didn't hit the corner, so maybe that's just in my head.
Here I go.
Like a certain distance, you just can spam alpha as fast as you can. I did it at that distance, so you know you need no delay at certain distances, and then you need more delay at closer distances.
That's nothing.
Like that, I didn't spam as fast as I can. Lastly, as reluctant as I am to show this, this is OP for Cementoss players. You get cover, people think you're up top, so they waste an ability. If you throw it at a corner, you can always just drop back down. And you can stagger like this to where you drop down, maybe someone's flying over, and you can end up coming all the way back here. Now that was the most important information overall. Now everything else is just, I'm gonna go over just a standard guide. Cementoss can combo with 5 hits of anything. It can be 5 alphas, 1 melee, it doesn't matter. I think the only thing that causes more knockback is his air melee. Betas, if you don't know, honestly, hold left or right or down, it'll go horizontal as long as you're holding that direction. If you're holding nothing, it just goes straight. Gamma is true on health, so if you're in the air and you throw gamma, it's not a true combo, so I suggest like never doing gamma in the air in general. Unless it's on health, of course. Now, I am going to gatekeep a little bit. I'm going to have a combo video, so you're going to see the combos. But everything's comboable. Everything is comboable. when I say everything, like even alpha into gamma,
No
but
escape.
you just had to do a delayed alpha
Think
hit,
fast.
something like that.
Line drive.
And this might be
Heading out.
comboable if you perfectly time it, but on shield, I'm not exactly sure. Now in buildings, I don't know what it is. Sometimes double alpha works, sometimes it doesn't. Even though it visually hits, I exactly don't know what makes it inconsistent. It's probably has to deal with spacing. Maybe spacing matters in when it comes to ceilings, but sometimes they just won't get hit twice. I don't know. Figure it out. The pillar does more damage than the ball
No
that you throw.
escape.
So if you're like in a building, you get 5 hits.
Have a pillar.
If you can like hit the pillar only, you're doing 80 damage times 5. Now you can land triple alphas. You gotta be quite a bit higher than them.
Line drive.
Now when it comes to betas,
Pin
they're underused but very good. Level 4 beta and a level 9 beta can be spawned on top of a level 9, and of course a level 1 can be spawned on top of a level 1. And you can also look up when you do betas. That's kind of good. If there's a golden box, you look up and you come in there and you just throw alpha or what have you down here. Or you can rest someone like that. If you want to throw a horizontal beta wall up, I suggest just doing a T instead at the very least, because you get more protection from different angles. You can still make your roof, and if you make a TU shape, whatever, you can always walk around and have more protection in general. If it's a level 1 beta and you want to throw alpha for cover, that's not going to work. If it's alpha 9, alpha 4 can kind of work. You just got to make sure to space it, correctly. So it's something. But to bypass it, you could just do something like this. Now, other notable structures, just throwing a beta up top.
No escape.
Now, if you stagger alpha correctly, you can get a. Now, I like doing this as well, especially versus mobile people. Now, this one takes too many alphas for me, but this is good because you get like a mini wall right here. You get the ceiling right here, and if you want, you got this. So there's not much space for to be attacked, and I mean you can just throw a gamma there, and now they're probably not hitting it. And again, if you make a flat thing like this, that's all right. But imagine a T shape. They're probably not gonna come tunneling in through right here. If they do, cool, whatever. I mean, you should be able to see that with the angles you have on Cementoss, but it's just another escape route. Blah, blah. This level thing is going to be complicated. A short version is, for most players, Alpha 9, Gamma 9. With the beta nerf, most people are really not going to level beta. But this is how I like to play. Now, if they ever buff beta, again, I will be maxing it second. But I can't stand that happening. So I'm not going to max it second. And I don't even care for beta 4 anymore. I'd rather just try to get Alpha 9 as quick as possible. Again, unless it's a very niche situation, I'll hold on to levels anyways. And if I'm facing a super sweat team, I'm like, I need to get this double beta out. That's the only time I think you should go for a beta 4, is if it's like life or death. I can keep this up for a while. If I hardly space it, like I could just keep doing this for a long time, and that's going to create enough threat to where they're going to back off, or they have to use mobility to get on this side. Now I have another beta I can throw. They had to do another mobility thing. I have another beta I can throw, and I have more betas, and I can always like look up beta and be on top and have like a high ground to throw alphas, because obviously the higher you are for alphas, the easier it is to land for alphas. Additionally, when you're using beta, I forgot to mention this, if you do a U shape, that's probably the best offensive way almost to use it for, if you don't combo with it, because the hitbox is almost going to cover even the little bit inside. Like if they're touching this, it's going to hit. If they're touching this a little bit, it's going to hit. So there's that. Now you can protect your teammates with the long beta. You can 2v1 easier with betas, because obviously you can hit 2 people with it, and you're protected, in a way where you're just throwing betas because they're both not going to be able to see you most likely when you're spamming them out and moving around. Gamma Max second is good, obviously, because indoors, on this map, crazy. Like, people will revive. You throw a Gamma right here, and they get hit. And third partying easier. If anyone's caught jumping, they're getting hit. And if they roll, I mean, they're going to have to roll. There's no way you miss so bad they're not going to be in the zone. After they roll, I mean, you still get the chance to land an alpha afterwards. So, I mean, Gamma second is huge. Additionally, you can just hide. You can just hide almost like it's almost all it's a level 1 beta. So new map, you know, Gamma second. Alpha first. Old map, I still go beta max second. Well, this section we're talking about like running away and movement and whatnot. If you air melee before you land, you glide to get a little bit more horizontal distance, and now you have more time for your alpha to reload. Also, if you're running, you have time to look behind you and then look forward again. I mean, I never do that. You can move with this because they don't have an angle on you. You have to watch out for, of course, objects. It's gonna break after 3, but you can get 5 down before it reaches you. But the 6th one, oh, you can't get 6. Okay. Now, old map is going to be less consistent because if you throw an alpha like on uneven ground, it might spawn at an angle like this, and so you're not going to be prepared to maybe go that way. Also, if you're on a hill, more problems just going to occur eventually. That's just, you know, terrain issues. But if it's flat on the ground, it's going to spawn like the same way every time, which is kind of useful for alpha combos. So when it comes to running away in general, anytime you can, you know, you can just throw alpha there, block that off. But using one thing to block is not effective if you need to get a team heal off or a big pot off. You want to throw one on the outside and like one on the inside, so they have to like get through 2 layers to get to you. Now, you can go a step further. Make sure to throw the Gamma, like, not on this alpha, because it will crumble if it's touching this alpha, and someone destroys it. You throw it against the wall, and you can throw another alpha. Make sure to walk cancel, so you can do it at a time. But you throw another alpha, and now they have 3 layers to go through, because they had to get through those 2 first layers, and they had to get through this one, and they had to get through this one. Certain doorways you can bait certain people. If you throw Gamma on the ground, they think they can walk through here. Like, no, they can't. So they'll waste time. They can see you, but they'll waste time trying to do this. It's just funny. I mean, you could space it right as well, like anywhere. Certain spots beta just sucks, just so bad. I don't know why I haven't tested every single spot, but I'm getting the smaller little holes like this, beta's just awful for covering up. Unfortunate, unlucky. You got the wall, cool, but T-shape will be a better wall, you know, even if they walk through, whatever. Because you can funnel alphas here easier, like you have a backboard, so if they're right here, you get a double alpha hit. If they walk through. Now, let's say if they're breaking it down. If they're breaking it down, you still can see which one they're breaking down, and you can be on this side to get the jump on them, or vice versa. T-shape is just better to secure walls in general, if you can. Especially if you're further back, and just want to cover it up real quick. The spacing, of course, is going to suck, but you can always throw alphas to cover up your mistake, and if you space the alpha correctly, you can cover both sides. Totally calculated. Pretty much everywhere that's not destruction zone, wherever this zone is, or beach area. This is okay because buildings. I don't like landing over here because there's no buildings, but there's just a little jump spot. Bleh. Now early game, we'll go with landing. Where you should land, in my opinion. Of course with your team, but sometimes your team just wants to land over here, and Cementoss does not do good in the open spots early game, especially like on a hill or like on the old map, the dome. It's super hard to fight on top of it, or on this right side on the old map, super hard to fight on hills and things because you're not going to probably land both hits of the alpha. You're going to maybe land the pillar part or the direct part, but try to be near a building if you can on spawn. Rush Alpha 4 immediately. Sometimes your teams will spawn away from you or you away from them, what have you. When that happens, you should be picking first on the map if you want to land at a certain spot. And if you pick first, that's the rules to me. Majority is secondary when it comes to solo queue because you're trying to rank up. If they want to spawn over here and you're not confident and you're level 1 alpha, then you got chat. But if they don't come with you, that's their decision at the end of the day. So just stand your ground if you're not confident in yourself. But you should practice on landing anywhere, anyways. Quite frankly, near buildings always good. This spot, I kind of like this spot because there's a civvy here. So if my team lands somewhere else, I can grab the civvy, maybe heal them, maybe win. And sometimes I might be able to get the civvy and a level 4 alpha real quick in the spot. There's a card here sometimes, or maybe I might go here, or sometimes here. There's enough loot to get your alpha 4 in time to fight, in my opinion, in this spot. And it's like not as contested. And even if it is contested, you have buildings to fight people off. So you should just probably end up winning. You can't just land on your own alphas and throw an alpha. You're gonna run out really quick. You're gonna have to throw an alpha someone. Like don't worry about wasting time and climbing up, right? They're getting knocked. They have iframes. You have time to like go on your own little alpha pillar, wait for it, and then rinse and repeat. So climbing your own alpha is level 1, very, very, very effective because it's a short enough climb. Level 4, you don't need to. It's a longer climb, but you still can do it if you really want to save alphas. It's not too long. If you gamma someone on health, right, even though they're far away, you have time to get your beta off because it's a true combo. So they're gonna get hit once, stunned, then the second time they get hit, they're going to go flying for a bit. Now, another reason why your early game sucks is you're not landing a double alpha. Also, when it comes to saving your teammates, let's say they're on the ground, right? You can alpha push them, make a structure. You can alpha push them towards you, but that's easier on flat ground. And if they're on something like this where you don't know how the alpha is going to spawn, and it might matter. If you're close enough, you can do a little beta and kind of do the same thing. You might have to like wait a little bit instead of spamming it because they might get stuck in it. I haven't tested it too much, but that's what you can do for dead teammates. And obviously you can throw them up in the air and then they'll stay on this thing and you can fight while doing that. And the enemy will try to focus this person most of the time. And so you kind of get free hits on them as long as you can juggle your ammo by keeping them safe. You can really get value out of your down teammates. Now if you res your teammates, you can always box them to where you have a lid on top of them. I think the box it's at least strong on these pillars. It might be stronger than the pillars. The only bad thing is you can't destroy the box like you can with your own objects. Like someone else hitting this will have to hit this way more than Cementoss does. But the box, Cementoss cannot break through that. So I don't know if it's just the box is just that strong, which if it is, the lid is effective. Or if it's just Cementoss, can't break their own res box because they forgot to program that because this game is, that's what they do is they forget. If my teammates are down, I kind of like using them as bait personally. If you get good enough, they'll be fine 90% at the time at least. 10% is a lot of error, but it's probably more likely 95% of the time because the enemy will try to grief them. You hit them for free, and they waste all their abilities. Goes on cooldown while the teammates just living. Bags are important. Almost to me, I love bags. I love bags more than probably anyone else. Because I'll have level cards for my teammates because that's what I do, and you'll have more pots. And Cementoss can use all the pots he wants. He can pot anywhere, all the time. He's probably the best potter in the game, because structures, obviously. And you're going to need space. You won't have enough space for the amount of pots that you can use in a single fight and get off. Your teammates won't have a chance to use as much pots as you, so in a way they don't need to bag as much as you, if that makes sense. Now, additionally, level cards. I like holding one. Like, let's say I have these levels, right? Let's say I have these levels. I'll hold on to one level card at the very least because I don't need a beta 5. It might make a difference on the kill, but whatever. If my bag is like near max or I don't have 2 slots or 3 slots, and you see people dying trying to grab all these things, like I just want to make sure I'm able to grab the level cards. So I like to have one on deck. Cementoss tuning, pretty sad about it. Green, obviously, a lot of people like green. You can go overhaul to get the max res, and then the only one with overhaul that you can do that with is the red one. And so you can go Coda Finder maybe if you want, just because levels are so important on Cementoss, and I feel like less people are kind of running Coda Finder now anyways. Or you can run Crushing PU, which is also good because you get your obviously you get shield obviously, but you get your res back again. So if you res, you can PU and then res again. And if you do that, if you have the reinforce, they're getting another. So that combo is not bad. Now that I think about it, that's a pretty good combo. Solo Q, I don't care about the reinforced solo Q. The Ayazawa's perk is so strong. I will run it with any other color, anything almost. I will just have it just an Ayazawa perk because it's just that good. Especially if you know the tech, the secret tech out here. But you don't need to know the tech, but you can get the pot off anywhere. A big pot off anywhere. Huge. So convenient. When I don't have it, it feels like crap. You can run, I think, purple with blue. I think that's the only combination with purple. Or no, you can run purple yellow. So yellow Mount Ladies, I would go with that one if I'm going purple yellow. That's good. Purple blue, I would go either Twice because level cards really good on Cementoss, or I would go something like Ida for fun, or Ochako for fun maybe, but it won't be as good. Thing. Dobbies is like, let's say you have an alpha and you get Dobby, get a Dobby, whatever. You're shaving off like 3 seconds of your next alpha. Like it's eh, but you know it's something. 6 seconds of this isn't bad by far at all, to be honest. And Mount Ladies is all right. How defense works in the game or damage when it comes to these cards, it's not a flat 20% reduction. It's multiplicative, so it comes out to more like 17 or 16. And once you get knocked and you have iframes, well, you're wasting some seconds of this. Also, Cementoss, you're probably not getting hit too much off anyways like that, for real. So you probably won't be getting too much value out of this. And then Coda, after 60 seconds you find Coda. So, why not? I'll make a part 2 eventually. I'm kind of lazy and editing is crap. I'll do matchups and hit some things I forgot to talk about, forgot to record in the first video. Wasn't too much, like what cards to use, or maybe how to fight as Cementoss, but the first video is already long enough, so I'm over it.